Good morning, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the Woodstock special. I think this is the day 2 of this week where we are actually going to be talking about tension. My name is Carrow Brown. I am an urban fantasy author and the operations director over at Otherworld Inc. You can pretty much find me on any social media if you are interested in looking me up. I'm pretty easy to find, and I'd like to welcome you to my channel if this is the first time that you're here. So before I dive into the topic of how to add tension into your writing, I do want to give a shout out to Wordstock and its facilitator, StoryDtechtive Robert Jones. And the reason I want to do that is because I really do like this initiative in regards to how we're getting all these different writers at different levels collaborating together on a topic. Normally, at this part of the presentation, I would list all the participants that are part of this, but there's 28 writers. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to link Robert's channel below in my comments. He'll have a playlist composed of all the videos that the writers have made for this, and I would really encourage you to go and check it out and see what everybody has to say about this topic. It's very engaging, and I think that this is a wonderful incentive, and I'm really happy that Robert invited me back to do this. So I've participated in day 1 and day 2 of this topic, and one of the interesting things that I was kind of encountering when I was actually writing about suspense and how to put suspense in your writing is that I noticed that suspense and tension happen to actually have some overlap. So my minor struggle with actually making videos on this week's topic, or rather this session's topic, is that obviously day 1 we were talking about suspense, and today that we were talking about tension. And when I was initially sitting down to map out these videos, I was like, these two things have major overlap, and so how do I talk about one without treading onto the space of the other one? And so I made a chart, and I thought today for day 2 it would actually be good to share this chart with you to show you what suspense has that tension doesn't have, and where they have things that overlap at. Now, I'm not going to talk about these things in detail because that's not really the point of today's presentation, but I still thought that this was good information to share. I wanted to show it to you on the screen. Bim, bam, boom, we're moving on. So for my presentation, when I'm talking about tension, is that I wanted to talk about the kind of tension that people really, really love to read in books. And a lot of people sometimes overlook this. They don't think it's majorly important, but I'm here to tell you that you're wrong, that this tension that I am about to discuss is really key and detrimental if you are looking to keep reader engagement, and that is personal tension. You may have written the most amazing plot, most engaging storyline of all time, but man, I'll tell you what, you want to increase some tension in your story, you put in some personal problems. People are always here for personal conflict and personal tension, and when you put that in there, your readers are going to gobble up those words faster than anybody else. It is just a thing. One of my friends who's been writing for over 20 years told me that if you have a book that has nothing but character conflict, action, and dialogue, that you will have a national bestseller. What I have up here on the screen are 3 different shows, 3 different premises, 3 different, completely different categories. But the one thing that these shows all have in common is that they have really engaging fan bases that absolutely love their stuff. And why is that, right? Well, people want to see other people fight. They want to see tension between other characters. Do you think I watch Supernatural because of the deep and engaging plot? Hell no. I came here to watch these 2 brothers fight and find out why one's keeping the secret from the other and how they're going to react to it and how the hell are they going to get back together. That's why I'm here. Yeah, so if you put in character conflict and character dilemmas and things like that in part of your story, that's going to be really fantastic. People are just going to absolutely love it. So in the video where I talked about suspense, I did talk about character conflict and about how you could use that to add suspense. But when we're talking about tension, for me, suspense with character goals and objectives are going to be kind of more on a macro level, where tension is going to be character goals and objectives on a more micro level, like more interpersonal communication level. These are going to be people that are going to be fighting, about like one character who's angry at the other because they kept a secret from them. That sounds like, the plot of a very popular show that a lot of people follow and are obsessed with. But it's not going to be like your main plot, if that makes any sense. It's going to be your subplot. It's going to be the thing that happens in the undertones of your stories. This is going to be where your characters are confronting each other about social things or personal values and all that goodness. And the recipe, honestly, for both of them is going to be the same, where you have readers who are going to be engaged with the character that you have stated for them. You're going to make sure that they understand what their goals and their ambitions are. You're going to make somebody else, you're going to have them get the opposite objectives, and then you're just going to watch them fight. It's going to be great. Everybody here that, as far as I know, are always into like some kind of conflict between characters and watching them fight and duke it out, and they'll just, like I said earlier, they're gonna gobble that up. Just give them what they want. So I want to give you an example that I have when it comes to character tension, and I'm gonna be using a work in progress. And the reason I'm using the work in progress is because if I keep talking about it, then I'll actually go back and finish it, and then it can be out into the world. This is my motivation right now. But the two characters that have a lot of tension are going to be Andrew and Corey, and these two have a lot that's going on that makes them both polar opposites in terms of objectives, and they have some similarities as well. In the story, Andrew is trying to stay off grid because he's wanted by the government for things that he's done that he just doesn't want to be brought in for. So he does a lot of everything that he can to avoid surveillance, and things get a lot worse for him when a current very wanted criminal who is Corey kind of falls onto his lap. Now, Corey is framed for this thing that she did. She didn't do it, and all she wants to do is go home and clear her name. But her situation's worse because now that she's become associated with Andrew, it just makes it look like the thing that she was framed for is actually planned. There's a lot of resentment between these two characters. They have a lot of fighting, and that's only really the tip of the iceberg as well. The two also have a couple of cultural differences that cause them to clash a lot. Andrew is not very technology friendly. He kind of opposes it a lot, where Corey has a lot of actually embedded devices in her body that allow her to be a lot more efficient when it comes to working with computers and everything else. So, two polar opposite individuals who are kind of currently still in the midst of fighting each other. And anytime I put these two on the page and just watch them go at it, I have a lot of time. That's where my high word count always comes in. It's good stuff. Now, I didn't do this in the last video, but I definitely wanted to do it in this one because it felt like it was a lot more beneficial when we were talking about writing tension. And what I would encourage you to do is I just have two little exercises here on the screen for you to do where you either write about two characters that you have right now and put two that have opposing goals in front of each other and watch them duke it out. Or you can take a current situation in your story and just raise the stakes. Just raise them and see what's going to happen after that. Now, if you already have some world-ending situation happening in your book, maybe try a different work in progress. But just kind of see how that adds to the mood and the overall feel of your story at that point. And it's always fun to watch our characters sweat when they're under the gun. But that is actually going to be the end of my video. Thank you so much for coming in and hearing what I have to say about tension. Again, the link to Robert Jones's channel is going to be down below. So if you would like to see the other 27 writers who are participating in this session of Wordstock, that will be down below. Would really encourage it. They got some great names and some really good insight, and everybody's kind of tackling this topic from a different angle, so I always appreciate stuff like that. But that's out there. That link's down below. Thank you so much for watching, and if you would actually like to take a moment to add your thoughts in regards to writing tension down below, please feel free to. I always love to hear what you guys have to say on these topics. And yeah, so that's gonna be me. Thank you so much for coming. Have a great day, and talk to you soon.